Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Marcus,
I'm Ryan.
and together we are
The
the
Northwest
Northwest
Sports
Sports
Fanatics.
Fanatics. Back at you guys with the daily sports news update presented by Rip City Beat and our guy PJ out there.
The Beat.
What's up, PJ? So we got some boxing. Oh, not boxing, my bad. UFC news. We got some football news, and we got some MLB trade deadline news as well.
Yeah, and we got a little retirement that came out of the blue as well in the
Oh yeah.
NFL.
Oh yeah. So let's kick it off. The big topic around sports right now, and of course, is the Bones Jones versus Daniel Cormier fight.
Right, so UFC 214 was last night, and John Bones Jones was going to go up against the champ, Daniel Cormier, for the light heavyweight title rematch.
Yes, it was a pretty good fight. I think it was 2 rounds, the two to start off. You know, Cormier
1-1.
one. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Cormier wanted a little revenge from his the first fight he lost to Bones Jones.
Yeah, so there was a lot of anticipation in this fight. I mean, obviously, the big one is we got the Mayweather and McGregor, but going into this fight, both guys looked confident.
Right.
Like I said, we didn't know how rusty Bones Jones was going to be, being off, pretty much fighting for about a year and a half or so with all the kind of off the mat issues that he was having.
Right.
Cormier as a champ, he looked confident. Even though he's a little bit shorter of a fighter, he packs a heavy punch. Obviously, you saw that mouthpiece fly out. 8 years older than Bones Jones, so I thought that might be a factor, as far as stamina is concerned. But Bones Jones came out kicking, punching pretty hard. I think it kind of wore down Cormier. Pretty exciting fight though, as we got kind of towards the second, third round.
Yeah, it was a pretty good fight. Moved Bones Jones to 23-1. Of course, he won the light heavyweight title. Um, to me, he's one of the most dominant UFC fighters since, like I was saying it earlier, Spider Silver.
Right.
The way he gets in there and he handles business every time. Again with Cormier, DC, he's no slouch. 19-2, both his losses to Bones Jones. And I know Bones Jones was calling out
Brock Lesnar.
Little Brock Lesnar. I guess he's looking for a fight with him.
Right. So Bones Jones won the first round. Pretty close, though. Second round went definitely to Cormier. And then in the third round, Cormier got kicked in the head. Definitely was seeing stars. Nighty Night fell back into the cage. And then after that, pretty much got pounced on and it was over. Definitely a weight difference with Brock Lesnar and Bones Jones. So It won't be for a title, but just for, I guess, marketability and excitement factor, it would be something definitely worth to see. I hope they can actually have that signed and done.
All right. So good to see Bones Jones back in the ring after the
right.
layoff.
So as you see right here, he's seeing him sliding back into the cage. And then obviously at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17 hits later.
21,
right,
elbows.
right, 21. It's over at that point. So, but it was exciting to see Bone Jones come back, and I think for the sport, for UFC, that's what we needed. You wanted to see the guy that was a little bit more of a fan favorite come out on top,
more
just to give a little
name.
Right, especially when we got the McGregor and Mayweather thing coming up. So he just gives a little bit more publicity for boxing and UFC.
All right, so there you guys have it. A little recap on the UFC fight last night. We got a sign-in, an extension.
Right. So in the NFL, I mean, we are getting dangerously close for preseason, and a lot of these camps are already starting.
Yep.
The Vikings corner, the up-and-coming stud, Xavier Rhodes, reaches a top extension for cornerback, reportedly 6 years, $78.126 million. Cheddar.
Yeah, he definitely checked that bag. The 25th pick in the 2013 draft out of Florida State. He has great size, speed, elite ball skills. He's a great athlete. Had a pretty solid year last year. 52 tackles, 5 INTs. To me, I do rank him up there, top 10 corner in the league with the best. The Talibs, the Harris, the Peterson, Sherman,
Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters. How do I keep forgetting about this guy, man? Hey, Peters, I apologize, man. I would never disrespect you like that. I will put respect on your name.
Right. So 2 interceptions in his first 3 seasons out of Florida State. We expected a little bit more, but did have his breakout season, like you mentioned last year. 5 picks in 2016. Number 1 passer rating allowed. Let me just break this down. 39.2%, number 1 in passer rating. Let's just, in comparison, Darrell Rivas. I can't even say his name. Darrell Rivas, 64.6%. So that shows you the big gap between a number one corner and a guy that's kind of fell off his horse and is kind of in the back end of number one corners defending these elite wide receivers like Odell Beckham and Antonio Brown.
Hey, Vikings got a nice secondary. Him, Harrison Smith out there, locked up for years to come. He made his first Pro Bowl, and also he was first team All Pro.
Right. So the new contract includes $41 million guaranteed, pays more than $42 million over the first 3 years. Third highest paid corner right now behind Trumaine Johnson, the Rams corner, and your guy, Josh Norman, the Redskins stud. 27 years old, first Pro Bowl, like you mentioned last year. He is considered one of the most physical and skilled cover corners in the league already. Yes. And they just re-signed Everson Griffin, defensive end stud, last week. So he got 5 years, $58 million. So it's going to keep both of these dynamic duo studs together through the 2022 season, 2022.
Hey, things looking up for that purple peeper eater.
Right. Still got a lot of questions at quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater, on the PUP list.
And Bradford.
Right. And so, I mean, the offense is going to be kind of a question, but they did pick up, obviously, old boy from the Raiders at running back, Latavius Murray and Dalvin Cook from Florida State. So there should be a little bit of excitement for obviously those people in Minnesota and the fans of the Vikings across the United States.
All right. Also in the NFL, one of my favorite players, even though he doesn't play for everyone's favorite team.
Right.
But Mr. Rob Ninkovich, he came to a decision today.
Right. So he announced his retirement after 11 seasons, 33 years old. He started as a part-time player in his first 3 seasons with the Saints and Dolphins. Nobody really, I think, remembers him at that point. But then he got his break, obviously, going to the Pats after that for 8 seasons, became a star. 5th round pick out of Purdue in 2006. So nobody really remembers him. He led them in sacks twice, 2012 and 2014. Shifted between defensive end and linebacker. Like you mentioned, a very versatile jack of all trades type of player. And I'm not sure if maybe it was the CTE or a lot of those things that were kind of coming out, or maybe he just felt this was his time. But they definitely are going to miss one of the most exciting players on the Pats D from the last 10 years.
Yeah, and the most thing that they're going to miss, his great leadership, but his value to the team, what they're going to miss the most, you don't see it on the stat sheet. It's just the extra little things, the hard work, the chasing quarterbacks down, the pressures. So from 2009 to 2016, he 423 tackles for the Patriots, 46 sacks. He comes from Purdue. Purdue is known to having those tough glue type players. Ryan Kerrigan won 2 Super Bowls with him as well.
Right.
And he wears that number 50, aka Mr. Mike Vrabel wore that as well. So they kind of similar type players that you need to win Super Bowls.
It's kind of crazy because if you think about it, he's probably the only defensive player with that jack of all trades kind of persona behind him. Because normally when you think of someone that's like that, it's like a smaller wide receiver that could maybe play punt returner, kick returner, maybe AKA Christian McCaffrey going into the Panthers this year, a guy that can do it everywhere on the field on the offense. He's kind of the opposite. He can do it on the field everywhere on the defense. And I think that he was a big reason why that they've been winning some of these Super Bowls in the last 10 years. I mean, it wasn't just solely him, but he definitely was a cog in the championship mix to make it happen.
All right, so there you have it. Salute to Mr.
Ninkovich.
He had a great career, and I'm going to say that I know a lot of AFC East teams won't be sad.
They won't be missing him too much, but they're looking so good going into this, 2017 season. A lot of projected, columnists and writers thinking maybe 14, 15, 16 and 0. Maybe walking off into the sunset with a championship. So we'll just have to wait and see.
All right. And one last thing we want to touch on, the MLB trade deadline is approaching.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So we got a move that was made.
Yeah, so one of the biggest moves, the one that we just want to touch on that happened this morning, the Royals from Kansas City, they acquire Melky Cabrera and cash from the White Sox. this is something that's going to be pretty big, because at first you were thinking maybe the Royals would be someone that would just dump a lot of their talent,
right?
Moustakas and some of the other guys that were kind of mentioned. But it is going to be kind of interesting moving forward to see what happens with them. AJ Puckett and Andre Davis were also in the deal. Both players are in the top 22 farm system as well. Now, Cabrera, he's making $15 million this season. He's a free agent after this year, so I think that was a big reason why that they wanted to maybe get something for him.
Right.
He's hitting 295, 13 homers, 56 ribbies in 98 games. Now the Royals entered Sunday 54-48. All right, they're in second place of the AL Central, only 3 games back behind the Cleveland Indians, so they are in the wild card position right now. And this is a little bit of a homecoming from Cabrera, because he did play on the Royals in 2011, and he's played 13 years. I mean, can you believe it? He's already played for the Yankees, Blue Jays, Royals, Giants, Braves, and now back to the White Sox. So, and then back to the Royals after that. So, kind of a long career for a guy that maybe a lot of people have slept on for a while.
Hey, Melky is a true vet. 13 years, 286 batting average, 127 home runs, 739 RBIs. It's a good move for the Royals. They, of course, they're trying to keep pace, like you said, 3 games behind the Indians, but they're also 2.5 games up on the Rays for that final and second wild card spot.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to what happens, obviously, moving forward, if they can put the whole package together. The Indians are a little bit better of a team overall,
right?
So I would expect them to win that division. But if they can just keep close and win a wild card spot, anything is possible. I mean, we saw the Royals,
a chance,
right? You know, a few years back. I mean, back-to-back World Series appearances, lost the first one and won the second, and they kind of came out of nowhere. No one really expected a team like that to. You know, obviously after the first World Series, you knew that they would have a good chance to get back again and maybe get revenge from losing that first one. But maybe this move can put them in better position. And who knows, maybe if the Indians have a few injuries or slip-ups, maybe they can take over the AL Central.
Well, they definitely in striking distance. So there you guys have it. Our Northwest Sports Fanatics Sunday sports news update.
Anything else you want to touch on?
There are going to be some more moves. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be more moves between tonight and it ends tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I'm good, man. I'm ready for this Mayweather McGregor.
Yeah, I'm ready
debacle, spectacle.
Right. Hopefully it lasts more than one round.
Circus show. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll last more than one round. But there you guys have it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll be back at you real soon. I'm Marcus. This is Orion. Only got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us?
Northwest Sports Fanatics.